AussieVerse is back once again, and this time we are here for a Moon Knight review, episode 1. I am OmniBeau, joined by my partner, Mark Grodd Watson. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Exciting stuff ahead for Marvel fans, and yeah, looking forward to chatting about it.
This will be spoilers, everybody. So if you have not watched episode 1 and you don't want to know anything about the episode, don't watch this. Or if you're like me with some things and you don't really care, then go for it. But we will be talking about spoilers, so bear that in mind. As usual, don't forget you can find us on Instagram at AussieVerse Comics and Collectors, and we are always proudly sponsored by Comx. Go check them out at this website. Also, you can check out the latest Kickstarters here, and you can also check out the upcoming Kickstarters here. They have awesome homegrown talent that is just blowing my mind away for stuff that I never read before. Really good stuff there. Now, on to the show. Without going straight into it, off the bat, when you finished watching that episode, Mark, what was your thoughts straight away that came right to your head?
My initial thoughts straight away was like, that's the end. It really was. It didn't feel like the 45 minutes or whatever runtime it went.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, well, he's going to turn Moon Knight at the very end and then they'll stop. And I'm going, oh, geez, he's going to turn Moon Knight right now. And then it did stop. And I was just like, oh, yeah, it was the end. So, yeah. About you?
For me, it was, usually going by the track record of Marvel TV shows, I'm usually left with the feeling of, I hope it gets better. I've always liked everything, but I haven't been blown away or been left thinking, yeah, this is just awesome. This one, however, I did. I as soon as it ended, I was gun-ho for more. I was excited for more. And I really enjoyed the first episode a lot. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I felt like, no, we can't wait till next week. Just give us all now. You have it. Just give us all to us now. I want to know what goes on, because basically what happened in the previews pretty much happened all in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
So now we have no idea. Yeah, now we have no idea. So, yeah.
Which is exciting because we don't know what's going to come.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thought that I did have actually was, obviously it's a bit premature for me to go out on a social media rant as comic people do and say my opinion in this. But after the first episode, I did think they've made a mistake making Moon Knight a TV show and the Eternals a movie. I feel like when it comes to one character, it's very easy to make, well, not easy, but it's cool to make a movie, right? With a TV show, you can flesh out the characters a lot more. You get a lot more in depth with their mentality and things like that. And one of the downfalls with Eternals, I think, is that there were so many characters and things were just so rushed. You couldn't get emotionally invested in any of the characters with Eternals. And to be quite frank, I find it hard to believe that anyone actually cared about any of the Eternals characters, where if you had a TV show and you could focus on 1 or 2 characters per episode, flesh them out a bit, that would have made it a lot more attractive and a lot more enjoyable. Whereas with Moon Knight, don't get me wrong, it's been 1 episode and we don't know what's to come. I just think they should have swapped off, Moon Knight a movie, Eternals a TV show. That's the one thing I did think.
Actually, I never thought of it that way, but I 100% agree, because, as I said, you had so many people to deconstruct in the Eternals, and it did feel like, I don't know what I felt with the Eternals. Like, it was entertaining in areas, but then it was like, it's different timelines, it's different, it's all over the place. But and Moon Knight, as we said, you can get it done within the 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I reckon it can be easily done and done well. because it is really only one character. Like last night's episode, you can cut it down maybe 15 minutes and you get the gist of his mental illness, the multiple person, the illness, which is a great eye opener too. I'm glad that they focused on that as well on the first episode, just to how rough it would be. Like all of a sudden, not trusting yourself and stuff like that. Like people actually do go through that.
It's a really intense psychological, mental condition, isn't it? Like, wow, yeah.
It's pretty rare, but geez, imagine it though. I mean, like, it's great that it's opened my eyes to it, because I wouldn't know too much about it until I actually started reading Moon Knight and stuff like that. But and then just seeing it, like how you have to, you don't know what you've done the night before or something like that. It's quite, it's intense. Like a mind's a funny thing, isn't it? Like, you can really just, it's scary.
Extending your thought process, one of the things that I'm glad they didn't do, which Hollywood has done for decades now, is when they do describe mental personality disorder, they always call it schizophrenia. And schizophrenia is very, very different. It's a completely different mental condition. And it's a big shame, because people with schizophrenia feel really bad watching movies where they're the villains and have different personalities, when that's not schizophrenia. And on the flip side, people with multiple personality disorder that have been portrayed as people with schizophrenia, it's a mixed bag, and it's not the same thing. It's like saying somebody with maybe, I don't know, a gluten intolerance is the same as being lactose intolerant. Same thing, but different.
Yeah, agree. And it's also massive shout out to Oscar Isaac. I mean, like, what a performance to just on episode 1 already. Just the way he looks, confused. I mean, like, if there's any young sort of actor out there just going, how, like, just watch this. I mean, like, he really sold it, and he was funny at times. He was confused at times. He was angry at times. It was just, man, it was like he was like 3 or 4 different people, and he sold it really well already in the first episode. Even the fact of the fish grew an extra like fin and stuff like that. And he was funny, like how he ate the chocolate and it's on his face. He kind of, and you felt sorry for him at some stages. I mean, like, every emotion you could feel about Isaac, like Oscar Isaac's character, you felt in that one episode. And I really thought it was, like, props to him, to be honest.
Yeah. And I think, in all honesty, like, you have some actors out there in Hollywood that legitimately want to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because they either are geeks themselves and they just think it's cool, or they want to, whatever reason they have. One of the reasons why I believe Oscar Isaac was attracted to this role is because one of the things that actors love to be able to do is to be able to show off their talent. And it's very hard for actors to be able to show off their talent when they're either typecast as a certain role, or the roles that they are doing aren't very, very versatile. And when you have a script that comes to you and you get to portray literally different people, it's a way to really show your skill. Like, I've gone blank with his name, but the guy that plays the younger Professor X in the new X-Men movies.
McAvoy.
Yes.
McAvoy, yeah. In Split.
In Split. When I saw him do Split, my God, did I just think he's the greatest actor in the world, The way that he just went from one personality to the next personality, in just a split second. And Oscar Isaac wasn't as intense as that, because it's a different role, but still, props, yeah. 100%.
It's a massive challenge if you can pull it off, isn't it?
Yeah.
And most actors will be just willing to do it. I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah. I just hope, I always get scared when I guess you could call him a big time actor now after Star Wars and everything. I always get scared when a big time actor signs up for a role in, let's be real, the universe that we love the most to watch, because I get worried that what if they don't want to do it for as long as we want them to, which is selfish on our part. But if Oscar Isaac just decides to not be Moon Knight again one day, and they have plans for Moon Knight for the next 10 years, well, what happens to the character then? But I guess that's just reality, and we have to deal with that.
Well, 100%. Like a lot of big name actors, they sign on to the villain because they know that it could be just a one and done, or they don't have
Yeah,
to come back, stuff like that. So, like a Will Smith for Deadshot, even Idris Elba for Bloodsport. I mean, like they don't have to come back now.
yeah.
They're in a role that can be expendable. But you're right, Oscar Isaac. I guess not big scale, but he's definitely making it big now. But yeah, you definitely hope he's going to be around for a while because I just want Moon Knight, to be honest.
I want, like a lot of people do. Obviously, you want these characters to join the movies. Whether it be Avengers or just team up to other people. But man, how cool would it be to get a full-on Midnight Suns? Like Moon Knight, Blade, Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, whatever it may be. And they might do it. You just don't know because they're bringing all these characters in
Yeah.
slowly.
Is it
Yeah,
Morbius a part of that too? I suppose he's
yeah,
Sony, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I doubt that'll ever happen. I mean, I don't know. Morbius has been out for 24 hours or 48 hours, and the reviews are not good on that baby.
No, I saw it for the Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that. I've never seen a score that low.
Yeah,
So not great, but yeah, or they could just change the team. I mean, like they do on everything. Like the Defenders were never. That's not the team of the Defenders, is it? So
that's true. That's
as
true.
long
Yeah,
as you keep it that sort of theme, the darker characters, and yeah, I'm
yeah.
all in for that.
What did you feel about the very first scene, the opening scene, when you had? I've gone blank with the bad guy's name, where he puts all the glass in his shoe and
Well,
he walks.
Ethan Hawke is
Yeah,
the actor. Yeah, we puts the glass in the shoe. Well, I just thought, well, clearly he's going to be a psychopath.
it's because, as far as I'm aware, that character in the comics, he has a condition where he always feels pain, and
Okay.
so he becomes obsessed with it.
Okay.
Um, whether they do that in the show or not, I don't know. But because of that whole glass walking scene, that kind of says to me that that's the direction they are going in.
100%. Yeah, I've only read I'm pretty new to Moon Knight. I've only read Jed McKay's run, which is 9 issues in. So I've got all 9 issues, and that's all I've done.
Yeah,
That's the Moon Knight. So I'm pretty fresh. I mean, like he doesn't have the multiple personalities in that yet.
yeah,
And there's no real villain sort of as to yet. So the history of that, like the Jeff Lemire stuff, is apparently supposed to be really good, isn't it?
yeah. I've got that behind me. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's really hard to find in trades. I,
It
I,
is.
I did
To be
try and
honest
look
with
for
you, I really love the Bendis one, which is the one on actually because it gets the cameras turn around, but it's the one on my left, right. I don't know which side it's on. But the reason why I love the Bendis one is because in that run, Moon Knight's personalities are Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Captain America,
Oh,
and it's awesome because
yeah,
yeah, he just switches between all those, and you have the ghostly versions of Spider-Man and Wolverine talking to him,
yeah.
But back to the show. It was, I believe, it was filmed in Germany. Not all of it, but obviously the scenes where they're in the European countryside. Um, it was a lot of the speculation, which I don't think is accurate, and I don't think it's real, but it would be great if it was. Is that the town? Remember how he wakes up with his jaw on the grass,
Yeah,
and then he sees this like town that's surrounded,
yeah.
and looks up and there's a castle. Well, a lot of people speculate that that's Doomstadt, which is the Latveria and Doom's castle, and that's where he stole
Oh,
the arrow from. Because Doctor Doom and Moon Knight actually have a bit of history with each other in the comics, but I don't think that's where they're going with this.
I know, but actually, in the trailers, there is a Doctor Doom, and it was in the truck. There is a Doctor Doom like box with Von Doom's symbol on it, and they picked it
Oh,
out in the
really?
trailer. So,
Because it said Von something else that starts with a D. It was a German word. It was a German
okay,
word.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I remember when the trailer first came out, someone spotted it and go, "It's Victor Von Doom
yeah.
box," and then being in that Lafayette sort of area, like it kind of adds up. I mean, like, they've got to bring Doom in at some stage. I mean, like obviously they won't do it in a TV show, but they can always reference it. So
Well, look, I mean, I would have a year ago. I would have said there's no way they would have brought Kang into a TV show, and they did with Loki. So
yeah,
I don't think I don't think we can actually predict what
yeah.
Marvel are willing to do to get Disney Plus subscribers and to connect it to the universe. I wouldn't be surprised if they would put anybody in the TV shows anymore, to be honest. But I don't think it's Doom.
Yeah, and they did a few like massive reveals in Hawkeye as well, I guess. But I know they're not movie sort of series actors. I mean, like obviously
Yeah,
Kingpin was, but
yeah,
the actor's really good. But yeah, but that's a TV show. But yeah, they brought that together, so that's pretty big. And
yep,
um, Natasha's sister, so they brought her in as well, and she's a movie. So yeah, you never know.
yep, exactly right. You got any other thoughts there?
Yeah, can't wait till next week. To be honest, I don't know what to expect. To be honest.
How good did Khonshu look?
Yeah, really good, really scary. I wasn't too crash hot on the voice in his head. It was
Yeah,
obviously Koshu, but I understand it's an MCU sort of thing.
yeah,
But it
I
did
love
make me
that.
chuckle a few times. I go, oh, it's the dumbass again.
Yeah, because you said you haven't read a lot of Moon Knight before that series, so I don't know how much Khonshu interacts in that series because I haven't read it. But Khonshu's a dick. You know, he's a real prick to Moon Knight. So he's not this benevolent god that's like the Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder that helps him out. He's more like he's more like Stick to Daredevil. You know, um, so it's going to be interesting to see. And the actor that's the voice of Khonshu, I really should have written his name down because he's actually quite famous. He's been in millions and millions of things. One of my favorite roles that he ever did was in Scarface when he was obviously a young man. But he's done a lot of stuff. That guy. So
Oh,
when
yeah.
you get off, when we finish, go to IMDb and look up Moon Knight and who's the voice of Concho. And I bet you've seen him in plenty of things.
Yeah. Wait, is there anything else you could? Because I could picture him. If you is there anything else he's been in?
Well, I'd have to pick up my phone and go to
Yeah.
IMDb. You know what? Let's just quickly look.
He did sound familiar. We were trying to guess it because first off it was like, oh, is it Liam Neeson?
No. It is F. Murray Abraham.
Okay.
Let's see. So yeah, he's an older man now, but he's been
Oh
in a
yes,
he's been in a
13
lot.
Ghosts. Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, there you go. 13 Ghosts.
Mm.
Um, there you go. Scarface.
Yeah.
That's him with his face, you know. So yeah, it was good to see that they got a pretty famous guy for that.
Yep.
Also, they've changed a couple of things with the baddie because I'm pretty sure originally in the old comics he was a Nazi, which I doubt they're going to have any references to that in this show. Plus, in the MCU, because you know how there's what was it 9 Egyptian? No, there was a I get it's really confusing to be able to remember the connections with all the gods because you have the 9 Egyptian gods, the Ennead, I think it's pronounced, but then you have this pantheon of like gods, lower G gods, not like big G gods, and
Yep.
the Wakandian panther god, Bast, is actually the sister of Khonshu in the comics. So I don't know if they're going to connect it that later on because they've never really gone anywhere like that in the comics. But that's something to sort of keep your eye out for later on as well.
So many moving pieces that they could do. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got a whole history of like Egyptian gods and stuff like that to play with, so it could go either way, could it?
Yeah. And the only other thing I've really got to say is when he was going through his phone, and you know how he saw all the missed calls from that girl?
It was one name.
Yeah, Duchamp, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Which other Moon Knight fans would know is?
I don't know.
It's Frenchie.
Oh, it's
Frenchie,
Freaky, okay.
yeah, Frenchie was always Moon Knight's, Alfred.
Yeah. That geek history lesson they said because they did Mercenary together. They're in the yeah.
So I wonder if we'll be seeing him. I don't know, but at
Yeah.
least don't. They've sort of put that in there, which is nice. Oh well, they're my thoughts for the first episode. I thought it was great. I guess obviously we've got 5 more episodes left. I'm guessing the next couple are going to be pretty damn action packed. I'm hoping for more characters, more spoilers, more deep cuts, things like that. What are you hoping for?
I'm happy. Like I wouldn't mind that, but I'm happy for just Moon Knight. To be honest, Moon Knight get a villain, establish himself, establish the mental illness, and I'm fine with either way. But yeah, and bringing other characters in. All in all, I'm fine. But yeah, just more Moon Knight. Everybody's been screaming for this. Hey,
sorry, everybody's been screaming for what?
For Moon Knight. Everybody's been wanting one. Yeah,
I was just going to say, Mr. Knight is going to be coming as well.
I'm looking forward to the suit. I'm looking forward to the suit, and yeah,
that's going to be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So yeah. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. We'll update you next week.
That's right. We will see you, let's see, Monday night for the live chat as we do every week. We're going to try and line up another guest. We have a big surprise guest coming on in May in some time, which I won't reveal yet because we're trying to lock down a day. But look, we've got more things in the pipeline. Thank you very much for joining us for the Moon Knight episode 1 spoiler review. We will see you next week for episode 2.
See you, Rod.
AussieVerse for life.